And we are joined now by Aida Sitdikova. She is Director, Energy Eurasia, Middle East and Africa, Sustainable Infrastructure Group at the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. Welcome to you, and thank you so much for your time. And I'd like to begin by asking you what the key challenges are, especially for your organization when it comes to advancing the energy transition.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah. Transition to lower carbon or carbon neutrality is at the core of the EBRD mandate in the energy sector. Just last week, at the annual general meeting of the bank's governors made a pledge to align all banks' activities with the goals and trajectory of the Paris Agreement by 2023. So this is after the EBRD committed to have over 50% of its investments as green by 2025 under our Green Economy Transition 2.1. So we have been working already with a number of countries in developing low carbon pathways for their energy sectors, and from Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan and Central Asia to Jordan and Egypt and North Africa to West Balkans and Eastern Europe. So country after country, we're helping them to step up their climate ambitions. We, of course, have a very diverse geography, spreading from Mongolia to Morocco, with unique energy transition challenges faced by each country. There are some common themes, however, in these challenges. How do we help our region emerging from the COVID pandemic to set itself to build back better and greener? How do we help countries with heavy reliance on fossil fuels, and especially coal, how we help them free themselves from this dependency and progress with their energy transition in a just and equitable way? How do we help these countries to retrofit perhaps their existing infrastructure for low carbon fuels and low carbon future, avoiding carbon lock-in? How do we enable larger scale intermittent renewables and help with strengthening of the grids in our countries? How do we help shape more bankable renewable projects and ensuring the proper risk allocation between all capital providers? And finally, how do we help our countries keep pace with the evolving new technologies and reach carbon neutrality by mid-century? Some of these technologies remain a bit futuristic, unknown unknowns, but others like green hydrogen are coming in fast and furious. So we would need the demand being created, the enabling regulatory environment set up, and project economics working. So this is why, for example, we're exploring hydrogen potential across a number of our countries in the region. So these are the immediate challenges that we're seeing.
That's really interesting. And I'm just wondering, for people who might not be familiar with the EBRD and the work that you do, perhaps you can give us a little bit of insight into the projects in particular and how they further the ambition of achieving the energy goals by 2030.
Yeah, sustainability and green, again, as I said, is not new for EBRD. It's in our DNA, alongside a strong private sector focus and mobilization of other funding sources. We have been mapping our projects again SDGs for some time now. Last year, as a response to the pandemic, the bank stepped up its assistance to clients with vitally important liquidity support. But this was not just to keep the lights on in our countries. This went well beyond the survival mode. We took the opportunity to help our clients emerge from the pandemic and into the new reality, greener and more sustainable. So the crisis response had a strong tilt to green, or sometimes push to green, which fits in with the recent news that climate finance by multilateral development banks rose to $66 billion last year from 61.6 the year before, 2019. So we're very proud to be part of it, but so much more needs to be done. As I mentioned last week, we made a commitment to align all our activities with the goals of Paris Agreement. 50% of our investments would be green by 2025. And energy transition, energy sector and energy transition remain at the core of these activities. Of course, in addition to EBRD being out of coal projects for many years now, we're also taking a very stringent approach to the fossil fuels. We're not financing upstream oil and gas, and any investment in midstream or downstream gas infrastructure has to be helping accelerate decarbonization and contribute to the low carbon pathways in our countries. So, and of course, it will have to have a low risk of carbon lock-in. We are much more than the money, than just we're lending. We have a dual approach where our investments go hand in hand with what we call policy engagement in each and every country of operation. So from launching renewable auctions, and we have 19 are currently underway for the total capacity of 2.5 gigawatt of clean renewable energy, to helping fossil fuel countries develop their low carbon pathways, to Uzbekistan as a recent example, to promoting just transition initiative in coal-heavy countries, to exploring hydrogen potential. So this policy work needs to be anchored in specific projects, and we continued with the scale-up of renewables, developing, assessing, mobilizing other capital providers, and actually building the projects and completing them, all against the backdrop of the ongoing COVID crisis. And the examples could go from a 100 megawatt wind farm in Kazakhstan, coal-dominated Kazakhstan, to the first utility-scale solar in Armenia, to the lowest auction price in Egypt for solar. So importantly, going forward, we have a robust pipeline of renewable projects, of clean energy projects for the next year.
Aida Sitdikova joining us from the EBRD. Thank you so much.
Thank you.